Within 24 to 48 hours after you submitted your claims electronically to McKesson, you'll receive from McKesson an Electronic Data Interface Report, or EDI. This report will let you know how McKesson handled your claims, either accepting them and then forwarding them on to the carrier, or excluding them and sending you the report back and letting you know which claims need to be resubmitted to McKesson so they can forward them on to the insurance carrier. To check to see if you received your EDI report from McKesson, up on the toolbar, click on the Claims Center button. And as you recall, we've already covered the Charge Review tab, the Claim Inspector, and the Unbilled. These last three tabs here are all in reference to what you'll receive back from McKesson in the EDI reports. First is the EDI report. When you receive a report from McKesson, it will show up here, and then from there, Advanced MD will parse or split the reports up to either displaying some run alerts from those reports depending upon what's in the reports, and also any exclusions for those claims that were excluded, and McKesson is basically submitting them back to you saying, fix them and then resubmit to McKesson. First we'll cover the EDI reports. And then down below you can see all the links of the different types of reports that we have received from McKesson. But first off, as I scroll down to the bottom, we're looking at the dates that these were received. At the very least, within 24 to 48 hours, receive a McKesson Claims Acknowledgement Report.
Now this report will do two things. First of all, it'll acknowledge all the claims it has received from you when you submit them. Second of all, if it finds any of those claims that have additional errors on them, it will include that in there as an exclusion, basically telling you to rebill that claim after you fix the errors.
Let's first, for the same date that we received our exclusion report, take a look at the Claim Acknowledgement Report. Simply click on it, Report. And in this report, it'll tell us the claims have been accepted and excluded. The E for exclusion means it excluded the claim for $350, and the A is for accepted. And then you can also see the total of claims that were accepted for a total of $150 and the total claims excluded for $350. So total input of claims were 2. By the same token, if we want to find out why our claims were excluded, we can close out of this acknowledgement report and go to the same date, October 25th, and find the exclusion report and click on it. And you'll see here, for this $350 claim that was excluded, the reasons. It says invalid subscriber birth date and also missing subscriber address line 1. You could print this report off and then go back into Advanced MD and fix it, or better yet, close out of that report. Exclusions will automatically pull over to this Exclusions tab, and you can see that there are 35 exclusions that haven't been fixed so far and resubmitted to McKesson for approval so we can be paid out on these claims. So you can simply tab, and again you'll see your username and batch number here, and then down below everything is parsed out, or if there are any exclusion reports, it will take all the claims that were excluded and put them over here. Now this exclusion tab is basically like your Claim Inspector and Unbilled tabs that we've worked for any unbilleds or any errors found in the Claim Inspector. In that, down below, you'll see line items, list of all the patients, their claims here that we're trying to submit that were excluded from McKesson. And here are the errors from McKesson. You can double click to get more details of the error and then be sure to fix them. Once you have fixed the error, for example in this case it's an invalid billing provider number. Now 9 times out of 10 it's usually because for the insurance carrier, in this case Blue Cross Blue Shield, doesn't have the provider ID number in this claim that it went out. So I'm going to click on the carrier to pull up Blue Cross Blue Shield. Click on the IDs button, and in fact there it is. There's nothing down here, a provider ID that Blue Cross assigned to this provider. So we need to pull up the provider, type in the number here, whatever the number is, click Save so it's a line item down below, and then close out. Click Save again, close out, and then we see the errors here. Yes, we looked at it, we fixed it, close out. Now before we actually check this and click Complete, we need to rebill this back to McKesson again. So this tab is going to be a lot different than the first two, the Claim Inspector and Unbilled, because at least in those two tabs, they haven't been submitted yet, but in this Exclusion tab, they've already been submitted. So what you want to do here before you actually complete it, even though you fixed the errors, is to go ahead and click on the View Details button, or for this claim, and then over here click on the Rebill button. When I click Rebill after I fix this particular claim, it's going to take it and queue it back up, bypassing all the gates, so when we submit our claims or run the claim submission wizard, it'll go ahead and submit them back to McKesson. So click the Rebill button. It'll ask you, do you want to rebill the entire claim or just this charge only? Now, if there was 3 or 4 charges in the claim and only one was excluded, then we could select rebuild this charge only. Also, we can go ahead and click on the drop-down arrow, and if there was more than one insurance carrier, select the correct one. So make sure you get the correct insurance carrier, exactly which part of the claim, if all of it or just the charge in it only that you want to rebill, and then click OK. I won't do it in this case. And then after you click rebill, you can close out, check the box, and say you've completed it. Now, completed means that you fix the errors and you rebuild that claim, because once you complete it, it will remove it from your exclusion and be waiting for you to run your claims submission wizard. So a quick reminder here, when you come to the exclusion tab, there's 3 steps. The first step is to find the error and fix it. Second step, once you fix the error, is to click on the View Details button and rebuild the claim. Third, after you rebuild that claim, check the claims box and then click on the Complete button so it removes that claim from your exclusion tab. Now once you've fixed all the claims in here so you have 0 exclusions on your tab, the next thing you want to go to is your Run Alerts tab. Now in the Run Alerts tab, if you recall, when you get your EDI report, Advanced MD will parse the information or divide part of it between the exclusions if you received any from the report from McKesson or the Run Alerts tab. Now the whole purpose of the Run Alerts tab is to give you a heads up of what's going on with your claims. For example, you can see the claim submission dates when we submitted our claims, October 24th, November 1st, and you can see what was submitted on those days. Was it all commercial or was it all state? To get more details, you can click on the plus sign and expand it, and you can see that we have the 2 commercial carriers that we submitted claims for. Now you'll have several columns here. You'll have the alert paid column, have we been paid since that date. By hovering over, you can see it's been 30 days since we submitted the claims on October 24th that we haven't received any payment for Aetna. You also have your excluded claims. Hovering over that, you can see that at least 100% of the claims have been excluded, which isn't a good sign. And then you have your paper, how many have dropped to paper. At least 40% have been dropping to paper. Maybe we didn't want to drop our claims to paper, and that's probably a high percentage. And then also you see your sent column. And so far I don't have an example of the number of claims that have not been sent. Otherwise we'd have a Run Alert tab saying it's been 48 hours since we submitted our claims to McKesson. We haven't received an acknowledgement report from them. And that would be here, a triangle to let you know about that. Now to help you troubleshoot your Run Alert errors, you do have down below the second section, which is basically the EDI reports pulling for this specific claim submission date of October 24th. Instead of clicking back and forth between the EDI reports and the Run Alert tab, you have it listed down below. So clicking on the links will pull up those reports. You also have the exclusions, and if you already fixed the exclusions listed here and you resubmitted your claims, then basically maybe that would have fixed it, and so you want to complete and remove this Run Alert from your Run Alerts tab. To do that, simply highlight your claim submission date and click Complete. You cannot select and highlight the individual insurance carriers and complete. It won't let you. You have to fix it for the whole date, and then you can complete it. Now if you don't complete these, it's going to build up and be a big mess. So be sure to check your Run Alerts tab, fix them, and then complete them when you're done. Then finally, once we worked our Exclusions tab and our Run Alerts tab, we want to go back to the EDI reports. And in here we've got 2 more things that we want to cover. Within about 3 to 4 days, you'll receive a McKesson forwarded carrier report.
Now, not every insurance carrier participates by sending reports back to you through McKesson on how your claims are doing, but those who do are very helpful.
For example, we'll click on one here. The message from the insurance carrier was, accepted entity acknowledges receipt of the claim. So that will help you to know if the claim has been accepted or received by the insurance carrier. And then finally, once you've completed everything, your Run Alerts tab, Exclusions tab, and also viewed your reports, last thing you want to do is check them off and then archive them. In other words, back them up, and so we don't have a big mess here in this EDI reports. The only thing we have here are the ones that we haven't viewed yet. And after you archive them, they will be removed from this, but you can always come back and click on the View Archived Reports, and it will pull up any reports that you've archived for this date range. And then you can click back on this to view your active reports. The button just changes from active to archived.